Community trying to turn grief into healing with a memorial service today. Thousands in attendance from our state and all across the country.
We had crews in Prescott all day talking to the people who live there. But let's start with ABC 15's Brian Webb with a look at the memorial itself.
Praise and
An auditorium packed with people, politicians, and prayers. Others spilling into the outdoor parking lot. All of them here to say goodbye.
And while it's felt like a bit of hell on earth for the last week, would you, God, bring some heaven now? Maybe just a taste.
It was a somber ceremony fit for 19 kings, with local and national leaders using compassion to comfort a heartbroken crowd, gazing at the boots and helmets that were left behind.
all men are created equal. And then a few became firefighters.
One by one, their names were read, heroes long before they died. Their families given flags and medals, tokens of tribute, and then the sole survivor read a prayer, said goodbye, and thank you.
I miss my brothers, and we're here today to remember them. And I love my family, all of you that are out there. Thank you for supporting me.
Flames may have torn this community apart, but this is the community putting itself back together. So very beautiful and incredibly sad. And you know, we got to know these guys a little bit better today, the men they were, brave and rugged, of course. Yes. One of them was quoted as saying, "I'd rather die in my boots than live in a suit." So, you know, real men.
Yeah, they could have lived any life, I suppose. They were that extraordinary.
Right, just and so dedicated to both their families and their careers.
One other thing to mention, those American and Arizona flags given to the families, they were flown over the U.S. Capitol building on the way here. You know, part of the extraordinary steps made to make sure we honored these men in the right way.
Yeah, and a flawless, beautiful, well-orchestrated service today.
Thank you, Brian.
Yep.
Well, as we mentioned, people from all over drove to Prescott Valley for this service. Those who took 89 past Yarnell were greeted by this sign. Look closer. It reads, "Yarnell 19 miles, but today a black stripe through number 19 in honor of the 19 fallen firefighters." There were also flags lining the streets, a reminder of their sacrifice.
Those who couldn't get a seat inside of Tim's Toyota Center gathered outside. They watched the memorial on jumbotrons and honored the 19 firefighters who gave their lives.
ABC 15's Adam Slinger was there, and he's now outside Station 7 for us in Prescott. And Adam, what was it like being there?
Steve, Katie, it was so quiet that at times the only sounds you could hear were cars about half a mile down the road. It really was a very somber 2.5-hour service. Now, right after the memorial, some of the people visiting town came over here to the station to leave a tribute. You can see a t-shirt from the Kingman Fire Department, Los Angeles County, even a shirt as far away as Hawaii. This tragedy really touched a lot of people, so it's no surprise that as soon as this memorial started, many people broke down in tears. Our eyes went to the sky, and just for a moment, people smiled. And then reality returned.
And I really feel for those families and those children.
Thousands of people sat in the 90-degree heat in a parking lot facing the sun to honor the 19 hotshots who made the ultimate sacrifice and to support their families.
The families are going through literal hell, basically. Being the wife of a fireman, they need the whole community's support.
And there's so many affected. It's not just 19 firefighters. There's 19 firefighters, families, friends, loved ones, communities.
Tragedy brought them together, and they came together from all across the country.
This is the worst line of duty death since the 9/11 terror attacks.
I think everybody from all over the world should be here for this.
With purple ribbons on their hearts, they held each other's hands and bowed their heads, hoping the despair the families feel will someday be overshadowed by the amazing amount of support shown right here, right now. And the most emotional part of the service was probably when the only surviving hotshot spoke up until that moment, you could see people cry, but during his prayer, Steve and Katie, you could hear people cry.
Oh, Adam, I'm sure. I know when he said, "I miss my brothers," just took us all right there.
Very, very sad.
Thank you, Adam. Well,